Hey everyone, I'm Raf, welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited to film this video because I'm going to be talking through my April TBR, which is also my TBR list for the 2020 OWLS readathon that I'm very excited to partake in, so let's get straight into it. So G from over on Book Roast created the OWLS readathon 3 years ago I think, and it is huge, so many people partake in it. Basically what you do is you choose a magical career from the careers guidebook that G has put together, and based on the career that you choose, you have to sit your OWL exams as if you're going to Hogwarts, and each career has certain prompts that align to it based on the subjects that you would sit the exams for. I'm not very sure if that explanation makes much sense, so I will link all of the information down below in the description if you would like to partake or read up on it. So G has done a beautiful job organising the entire thing, putting so much effort and detail into each of the careers, each of the subjects that you could choose from. I had a really hard time choosing because there were so many options and there was so much information for each option that you could choose. So I decided to go with the classic Hogwarts Professor. It's my first year partaking in the readathon, so I thought I would, go with an OG choice. And for this, you have to choose 7 books to read, which is quite a lot, but we are all stuck inside because of Corona, so one of those 7 books has to be from the prompt of a subject that you would teach as a Hogwarts professor. Another one has to be from the Defence Against the Dark Arts subject, because every Hogwarts professor needs to know Defence Against the Dark Arts. And then the other 5 books are all prompts of your choice, so subjects that you just would like to take if you were a student at Hogwarts. And so I sat down, I made a giant list, and here are the books that I'm going to read in the 2020 OWLS readathon. So for the subject that I would teach if I was a Hogwarts professor, I chose History of Magic, and the prompt for that is Witch Hunts, a book featuring witches or wizards. For this, I was having so much trouble choosing a book because I had just read Circe in March, and so I had to think of another book that had witches or wizards, and there was nothing on my shelf, and I was like, oh no, I'm struggling, I failed the OWLS readathon already. But then I remembered a book that was recommended to me, and it's actually non-fiction. I chose to read Mythos by Stephen Fry, and I'm so excited for this. I actually downloaded the audiobook, which is narrated by Stephen Fry. I listened to his narration of all of the Harry Potter audiobooks, and he is amazing. So I'm really jazzed to listen to Mythos as one of my books for the OWLS readathon in April. For Defence Against the Dark Arts, the prompt is Grindylows, and that book has to be a book set on the coast or at sea. I love books set at the sea. For this, I chose to read Philip Pullman's The Book of Dust. I know absolutely nothing about The Book of Dust. All I know is that Philip Pullman is a very beloved fantasy author, and his Dark Materials series is being turned into a TV show soon, which is pretty exciting, and I feel like it is about time I pick up a Pullman book, and this is it. So for the 5 subjects of my choice, I chose to take Care of Magical Creatures, Arithmancy, Muggle Studies, Potions, and Astronomy. For Care of Magical Creatures, the prompt is Hippogriffs, and that is to read a book with a beak on the cover. And I had a few of these, but I've been meaning to read Erin Morgenstern's The Night Circus for a while now. I feel like everyone on BookTube has read this book. It's been so hyped. Everyone who's read it has loved it, and it's about time I pick it up. There are several birds on the front cover and the side and the back, and those birds have beaks. So I'm going to count that, and this will be my read for the Care of Magical Creatures prompt. For Arithmancy, the prompt is Magical Qualities of Number 2, Balance/Opposites. So we have to read something that is outside of our favourite genre. For this, I am so excited because I've decided to pick up a graphic novel. I don't think I've ever read a graphic novel before. So for Arithmancy, I'm going to read Nimona. I feel like this is also a very beloved book on BookTube and the online book community. It's also my cousin's favourite book, and when I asked her what graphic novel I should pick up for this prompt, Nimona was her go-to suggestion. I picked it up from Booktopia online. Hopefully that will arrive soon before the end of the month, and I can read that. Also, because I have to get through 7 books this month, I think a graphic novel will help me kind of reach that goal, because it'll be a quicker read, and majority of these books that I have are pretty big. So, yes. The Muggle Studies prompt is to read a book from a Muggle's perspective, so a contemporary novel. For this, I did not go with a YA contemporary, even though I have not read many of those recently, and I should probably get back into it. But I chose a historical fiction, an adult fiction, and that is The Parisian by Isabella Hamad. And I don't know too much about this, but it looks really interesting. I think it follows the story of a Peruvian man returning to his home in Palestine in World War I. So I'm very excited for this. Don't know too much about it. It's also very fat. It's 500 and something pages long, so hopefully I can get through it, but yes, very keen for this. The potion prompt is shrinking solution, and you have to read a book under 150 pages. This was so difficult to find. I went through every short book on my shelf and everything seemed to be at like 200 pages. But then I remembered I picked up Here is New York by E.B. White from when I was in New York just under a month ago, and I thought it would be perfect to read this, a bit of nostalgic reminiscing. I might cry. No, I'm joking, I won't cry. I might cry. But yeah, apparently this is beautiful, poetic, and it seems fitting seeing as I just arrived back from studying over there because Corona sent me home. The final subject that I decided to take for the 2020 Owls Readathon is astronomy, and the prompt for that is night classes. Read majority of this book when it's dark outside. So for this I have two options. I have to check the rules because I don't know how the readathon is working. If you're allowed to read a book that you've already started outside of the readathon, I'm going to finish Identity by Francis Fukuyama for this prompt because I've read a majority of this at night time. It is a non-fiction about the politics of nationalism, identity, religion, and the demand for dignity in political representation. It's really, really interesting. I've got about halfway to go, and so if I'm allowed to read a book that I've already started outside of the readathon as part of this challenge, then I will read this. If not, I'm going to reread Cinder, which is the first book in Marissa Meyer's Lunar Chronicles series, because I have been craving the comfort of a good YA fantasy / fairy tale / sci-fi with lovable characters and an adventurous plot that I know I'm going to be able to fall into, and that is exactly what this book is. I've been meaning to reread this for ages. I read this back in year 8 or year 9 maybe, and I remember just falling in love with it. So if I don't read Identity, I will be reading Cinder for the astronomy prompt. And that is my TBR for the 2020 April Owls Readathon. I am so excited to finally partake in this. I've been watching so many of my favourite booktubers do this for years now, and I am quite keen to hop on the bandwagon. So I will keep you updated on my reading for this month. I will probably do a wrap up of the Owls Readathon reading that I did complete, and I'm excited for that. If you are partaking in this readathon, please let me know what career you chose, what prompts you chose, and what books you'll be reading, or let me know what books you're reading in April in general, because I'm very curious. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you're all doing well in your corona self-isolation. Bye.